You want any pizza? We got spinach though. Yvonne, you ready to go? All right, let's go. Yeah, I know.
One, two, 1, 2.
The facts, dates, and events presented in this video are from the member's best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are our own and do not necessarily represent my employer's positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act.
Nice. You are now in tune with the boss of the business, the What the Heck Show on UnionPowerRadio.com.
I'm going to ask everyone to mute themselves for a little bit. That's right. You're listening to the What the Heck Show here on Union Power Radio on July 2nd, 2023. I started a little bit earlier because I was having some difficulties with this new computer that I bought. And now we're going to start the show, I guess. That's right. We're going to be talking about the contract and this $2.85 that the company has thrown in our faces that we are worth $2.85. And now I see that a lot of things have been going on. Sean O'Brien actually told the company that you don't have until July 31st. You have until July 5th to give a final offer to the membership so they can send it out to the membership to approve the contract or not. And I see that is going to be a not. I know a lot of people don't want to go on strike, but this is what is going to be happening. I mean, they are playing games. This company is playing a lot of games with the membership and the money. And I think we deserve more than they even leaked out. They leaked out $2 and what the hell is that? I don't know what's that. It's a sound going on here. Is it somebody else? Is somebody, can you mute yourself? There you go. Anyway, we're going to be taking phone calls also at 347-403-0705. And I know a lot of people going to want to talk about what the company is offering to the Teamsters as far as the $2.85 raise. and no raises for the part-timers, and that's a big blow. But a lot of things that were accomplished, the 22-4 are now going to be RCPC, whatever, how you say it, Ds, whatever. Regular drivers, 0300, I call them all 300s. And that's a good thing because that 22-4 language was the worst language I dealt with as far as a business agent. They also they didn't talk about the PVDs, and they didn't talk about show posts either. Let me see. It's a lot of people getting on to the Zoom. I see no faces, but I see names. But anyway, anyone is want to talk about the contract and how's it going? What's up, Jose?
Hector, how you doing, buddy? I'm on my way to go pick up one of the brothers, Will Pena. We're gonna go to Palmdale because well, of course, the Amazon facility out there, DAX8 is on strike. The 84 drivers all got terminated. So we're gonna go over there. We're gonna go over there and show some solidarity and walk the strike line for a couple hours. You know,
That's nice. You know, that's very good, actually. So I just started the conversation with the contract and the leak that came out from the company with $2.85, which was like 55 cents for the first 3 years and 60 cents, I believe, for the following 2 years. And that shit was a slap in everyone's face because, you know, at the end of the 5-year contract, you know, we wind up with $2.85. Meanwhile, these guys are proffering $100 billion in profit, and they're sending this to Sean O'Brien, saying, you know, hey, this is what we're gonna give to these employees, $2.85. I was kind of pissed off when I saw that, and first thing that to my mind was, we're going on strike. Fuck this shit. We're going on strike. A lot of people don't want to go on strike. And I mean, I feel the same way. I don't want to go on strike neither. I just want this company to give us what we deserve. I mean, all this pandemic shit that we did and made them all that money. And now they want to throw $2.85 to your face. Sean O'Brien did a press conference yesterday about what's going on. And he talked about earlier in another web page that he had 55 TAs already agreed upon. I mean, a lot of this is little bullshit stuff. I mean, like Article 6, Section 5. I mean, the training of 50 cents of, you know, to a person that wants to train. The company already violates that shit, you know. And then we have the members that violate our own contract by accepting, you know, the management to give you a trainee and you train them and you don't even. And then when we fight for the 50 cents to give them for per hour, the members like, no, I do it. I'm okay with it. And that's the problem. We have a contract that we have to abide by when you're a union member. When you sign that piece of paper at the when you make book and saying that you're going to do all union business and carry yourself as a union member, that means, you know, follow the contract, follow the contract. I mean, I've been through so many times when I was a shop steward at one point that they was putting a driver to train someone, and I went up to them and I said, you got to pay him 50 cents extra an hour. Sean O'Brien now says it's $1 more an hour with the new contract, but you know, the company's still going to violate this, and the members are going to violate this because the members are going to, you know, the kissy assies of the management are going to say, oh, don't worry about it. I don't have to make that money. This is why it's in the contract. So if you're going to train somebody, if you're going to put another driver there to train how you do things, you're worth training is 50. It was 50 cents back then, but now Sean brought it up to it. But it's not. I'm having an echo. Okay, so it's really whatever it is. I mean, there's a lot of things here that are good for the contract. I mean, 24 hours before RIE. The management people have to tell the shop steward and the business agent the reason why they are going on a truck with a member, which is a good thing, because before they used to just make OJ as they please, or safety ride as they please, and didn't tell the shop steward or the business agent what's going on. So that is good in the contract. I believe is Article 3. So now the company has to give 24 hours in advance notice to the shop steward and the business agent that they are going to be riding this person for a safety ride or a OJS. Those are the good things that they came out from these 55 TA. Also, Article 1, Section 1, when the steward remains on the clock. When new employees are being trained at the, they take these employees that they bring off the street and they train them in a room. Now the shop steward could remain on the clock to do his shop steward stuff and let them know what the union's all about. And that's where it begins. When the new guys come in, a shop steward or someone from the union has to tell them, you're coming into a union shop. This is the regulations that we carry. This is the things that you have to do as a as a Teamster member when you become a Teamster member. And that is that. Another thing I see here, air conditioned in the trucks. Let me tell you something. This is going to make my job and any other BA's job and shop steward's job hard with these ACs coming in the truck. I'm not against it, but I'm sure they could have used that money to give us more money. I mean, for me, that's the way I see it. They're going to spend money on air conditioning, and air conditioning on trucks is not going to come for a long time. So everyone's thinking, wow, we're going to get air conditioners next, when the contract is settled. Hell no, that's not the way it works. The UPS is going to try to hold this back for a year or maybe a year and a half. They saying that they bought already thousands of trucks that is sitting in the parking lot because they knew this day was coming. So they bought these trucks with no AC in it. And then until they get rid of those trucks, that's when they start buying new trucks with AC on it. AC is not going to be in your cabin. It's going to be in the back of the truck. And the back of the truck is going to have a regulator that's saying, it's going to keep the temperature in that back of the truck to 70 degrees or whatever they set it up for. And this is where the problem comes. So when those AC do come into the trucks, this is when the business agents and the shop stewards are going to be doing a lot of fighting, because you're going to have guys that are going to take unauthorized breaks and sit back there to get cooled off. And, you're allowed to go back there and get cooled off. Yes. But if you're going to take a half an hour to 45 minutes to cool off, that's going to be stealing time. And that's what the company is going to get everyone for stealing time in back of those trucks with those ACs. So when we do get those ACs, you got to make sure that, you don't steal time. You do the things the same way. The only thing that AC is going to be there for is to cool off that back of the truck that is 100 and something degrees. It's going to bring it down. It's going to automatically turn on at a temperature of 70 or whatever they set it on. I don't know what they're going to set it on. And then it's going to keep that back of the truck cool when you go in to go get those packages or look for a package. Because that's the main shit, that you go in there to look for a package at 100 degrees weather. You just want to get the hell out of there. You sweat looking for one package, and hopefully this AC would now keep it cool in there that you can be comfortable enough that you won't be sweating and out of air in that cabin. But that's going to be a long time from now. I'm telling you right now. They put it out there like it was a good thing for the Teamsters. Wow, we're getting ACs to you guys. They just fucking blowing smoke up your asses, because that's going to take a long time before you get AC in those trucks. And if they do it before, wow, I'll be surprised my damn self. But that's the way the company's going to roll. The company's rolling with this. I keep saying it about the $2 and fucking, what is it? Where is it? There you go.
Till you realize that we're really not that far apart on the issues. We're just not that far apart on the issues.
Thinks that we're not that far apart. And I'm telling you right now, Sean O'Brien put down his foot. And if you guys don't know, the contract is supposed to be, the deadline is supposed to be on July 31st. Sean O'Brien told the company this Friday or this Saturday. No, was it Saturday? Yes, Saturday. He told them the deadline is not the 31st. The deadline for you guys, the company, is July 5th. You got to give me a final offer on July 5th. If you don't have that on July 5th, because what Sean is trying to do is trying to get it out to the members before July 31st. He's trying to get that vote, the final offer, how they say it, to the members before the 31st. He's playing it. He's putting the company on their fucking backs and making them respond faster. The money thing is not done yet. The PVD thing is not done yet. The Shaw Post is not done yet. So the only thing that's done that the 22-4s are right now are going to be regular package driver. And that's the good thing about it right now. I have a lot of people on Zoom, but no one is talking. Anyone wants to talk about this?
Well, look, Hector, do we really believe that UPS will do the right thing and abide by any contractual agreements they come to agree? Like,
Absolutely
no, dude,
not.
like, are the cameras off the trucks? Those cameras shouldn't be on the trucks. We shouldn't have no like cameras on the trucks, period. If I was, for me, that's a no-vote, because those fucking cameras shouldn't be on those fucking package cars. I'm sorry. I don't trust UPS. And then we have dishonesty language and a lot of these supplements, and have a sitting arbitrator there that's going to interpret the contract the way they see it. Dude, we're going to, it's not going to be good. To me, I still want to see the economic package. It's funny that we saw UPS's counter proposal when it came to the economics, but we haven't seen the IBTs. What's IBT proposal?
That's what I have a question about, because they had a press conference yesterday, and dude, I mean, what I mean is that press I don't know what was the press conference for. They didn't give me any information. I mean, the information that I was waiting for is what they're proposing to the company as far as how much money they want because I mean, I'm saying I thought they were going to go with $6 for the next 5 years, and which will break it down into whatever per year. That thing that got leaked out of the proposal from the company, it wasn't accidental that got leaked out. Absolutely not. And $2.85 for 5 years is a slap on everyone in the Teamsters face. Everyone that worked their asses off for this company to make $100 billion in profit, to say, hey, we're going to give you only $2.85 for the next 5 years, breaking it down to 55 cents for the next 3 years and 60 cents at the end. And then I heard a rumor, and it's just a rumor. I don't know. I don't have paperwork, but they did another proposal that it was it came out to like $4 and change. It was $1 for the next 2 years, and then 75 cents the following 2 years, and then $1.25. I don't know the numbers, but that's what I heard that they threw to Sean O'Brien, and Sean O'Brien took it and almost wiped his ass with it. And this is what it means. If it would have been a Hoffa in there and it wasn't Sean O'Brien, we would have been ratifying this contract today, because this is what Hoffa, the Hoffa people did. They took whatever the company gave them. Sean is not taking whatever. Sean is telling everyone that, if the members don't like this shit, we're going to go on strike. You're going to put yourself on strike. He's telling the company, you're putting yourself on strike. We're not putting yours. You're putting yourself on strike with these bullshit numbers that you're coming up with. The part-times, no numbers came up for the part-times at all. Do you know anything about that, Jose? That any numbers?
Well, they wanted to start part-timers off at $17, creating a whole fucking new tier. And then they want to do the split raises. If you guys were there in 2008, 2013, we had those split raises, right? And what I was told at the time was to help UPS out, so it's not a financial burden on August 1st. And hence UPS wanted to do that. But there's another thing that we overlook when you read the first UPS economic counter proposal, was the elimination of maintenance of benefits. And maintenance of benefits, meaning that they don't want to fund the fucking, they don't want to fund Team Care. They don't want to fund the Western Region and Local 177 healthcare plan. This is what they want to do. So now, if they're still going to be adamant about it, are we going to strike over it? Because that's a strike issue. We put, UPS has amnesia. They forgot what we went through in 2020. I have a homie, Steve Gaxiola, shout out to him and his podcast, Reader and his Saint. his brother passed away and he drove out of Cerritos. And then I think a couple weeks later, another driver died. And after that, a center manager died. Like these guys they just see us as disposable. They don't care if we die. As long as that package gets delivered, they're cool with it. And we just gotta stay more engaged in what's happening. If we're critical of the IBT, hey, we're critical. So what? If we want you in there to fight for us, tooth and nail. Like Mother Jones said, mourn for the dead and fight us out for the living. And that's what we should be doing.
Exactly. Well, listen, like a lot of people don't want to go on strike. And I see why they don't, but this company is a disgrace to the members, the way they treat the members. And I believe a strike it needs to be done to teach these guys a lesson, because they're not caring about anything that's going on with the contract. They're giving out bullshit proposals. They thinking that Sean O'Brien is going to accept, anything that they throw to the table, and he's not accepting anything that's thrown to the table. And that's the problem, is that we, the members, deserve better than $285 an hour, $285 for the next 5 years. We need more. I'm saying the most. And every other contract in the past, we got about a $5 raise or $4 raise. We should be at $6 for the next 5 years. I mean, we should be more, but I know they ain't going to give more than $6. But I think Sean O'Brien put in for $6 more. Well, we don't know, because they're not telling us anything. I mean, they're telling us what they accomplished, and we're not knowing about the money situation, how much we propose to the company. And I mean, if we propose 6, let's say, and they came back with a counter offer of 285, we're
Till you realize that we're really not that far apart on the issues.
we're
just not that far
we're
apart on the
definitely
issues.
far apart. I mean, that's a big gap right there, and that's bullshit that the company would even throw that in our faces after all the hard work that we have done in the pandemic. Hello, you got to mute yourself. Whoever comes into the room, please mute yourself if you want to speak, and then you unmute yourself to speak. Because I'll have echoes and feedback and everything. But listen, anyone could talk to me about that press conference yesterday. I thought, to me, I'm going to be real, and I'm always real. I thought it was an embarrassment, because when Sean O'Brien asked at the end, any question, and they turned the camera around, it was like 1 or 2 reporters there. What is going on? Why are we not getting the media involved hard with this? We are doing a lot of demonstrations out there, a lot of practice strikes, and all over buildings. I was just running Friday at Suffolk County, and they had way over 200 people out there, 200 members out there picketing and showing the company that we're ready to strike. It was a practice run, but it was a good practice run because everybody was into it. And I don't know if the company don't see this. If they don't see this, and they seen that they putting their company at risk of going on a strike with the members, why are they playing with our money? Why are they saying, here's $2.85? Anyone else want to speak about that? Unmute yourself.
Well, if UPS wants to strike, we shouldn't be afraid to strike. I mean, this contract, like every other contract, is about respect. And we know UPS is a disrespectful corporation to work for. You have to either you're going to get run over or you're the speed bump when it comes to UPS when you work for there, and you try to teach these people, you try to teach the rank and file like to be the speed bump. So don't get run over by UPS. So when it comes to this strike, we need a strike because this is about respect, and we're not going to get respect by, always accepting, concessionary, backwards business unionist contracts. We're not. And plus, there's now, what I have seen from what I've gathered, there's a great groundswell of part-timers now that are in this fight, because all you have to tell them is like, especially when you go to the reload, or what you call the twilight or the nights or whatever, you look in these trailers, right? And you see all these packages falling off the chute, and they come out there when they go inside the hub, their shirt is dry as hell, but when they come out, even for a 3-hour shift or a 4-hour shift, that shirt is drenched. And you tell them, is that work worth $15.50? And they say no. And I tell them it's not even worth 20. You should be getting 25, because you're performing some physical labor. And in that short amount of time, with supervisors saying, come on, we gotta go, always fucking pushing the rank and file, always harassing them. Well, you guys are a bunch of girls, being misogynistic and stuff like that. We need a strike. We need a strike, because this is about our respect. If we're not good, UPS is not going to give us respect. We got to get our respect.
Exactly, and the way we're gonna do it is the strike. But I mean, Sean is straight up is saying that, listen, there's a long list that he had: PVD, short posts, contractors, and on that list, someone put it on Facebook. Is he was just scratching off what we got so far, which is the 22-4 language being demolished, being gone, and now those 22-4s become the regular 0300 drivers. But it's the economy. I mean, the money is not being put out there. I don't know why, but we need to see what is the Teamsters putting out there, and then what we need to see what the company is trying to give, because the company is not going to give what we asked for. But we have to meet somewhere that we're not far apart like this.
So you realize that we're really not that far apart on the issues. We're just not
I
that
hope-
far apart on the issues.
I hope in the next contract, the rank and file, when we have our local meetings, tell our principal officers, hey, once we go into the negotiations, no more MDAs, none of that, no more gag orders. They say there's no brownout, this and that. There is a brownout.
You feel the brownout?
Yeah, because when the supplements went into negotiations, they were saying, "Oh, check the app." But the app only gives us it's not specific details.
Right.
Superficial.
I'm with you, Jose.
It's superficial now. Has the national been a little bit more transparent? Yes. But with that said, what's our economic proposal? Nobody knows, and that hasn't been leaked out. So I hope at one day we get rid of this MDA. We cannot have MDAs. We need to have big, open, and transparent negotiations.
Absolutely. I believe, they say there's not a brownout, and they are having these web every week on a Wednesday or whatever the case may be. I get it. I mean, I'll listen to whatever you got to say, definitely. But what members want to hear is, what are we as the Teamsters are putting out there to this company and what we want. I mean, they want to hear that. They want to hear the fact of, we put out $10 to the company and they offer us $2.85. We're putting out $8 to the company. They giving us, $3.55. Whatever. We, as the members, because we, at the end of the day, we do the votes. The members make the votes. When they do the final offer, it goes out to the membership to vote yes for the contract to be ratified or no to not be ratified. And we don't have enough information to say yes to this contract. Yes, it was great that he got the 22-4 language taken out. I'm good with that. I'm yes all the way so far with that. The PVDs, they haven't talked about the PVDs yet. PVDs is a big factor of layoffs and what the company is doing to give non-union workers work on Christmas peak time. And that work should be for more Teamster jobs and more union jobs. The show posts, we haven't heard anything about the show posts. That's a big factor of union work that's being given out to other companies to do that job. That prevents the layoffs. If you have that work here, it will prevent the layoffs. It will never be a layoff in UPS because that work is in here. So it's, subcontractors, the feeder drivers, we could have more feeder drivers, more union jobs.
Heck.
If we don't start, yeah, go ahead.
What's going on, Heck? It's Call.
What's up?
Is this on Sean's table though? Like, is he planning on addressing these things?
What
'Cause these
thing?
were all major contract discussions, weren't they?
What are you talking about?
Sean plans to address all the things you're talking about, right?
That's
Even though
what we're
we have-
waiting. That's what we're waiting for, because all these press conference and all this app thing is not telling us exactly what the company is doing or saying to us about these PVDs, these short posts, the wages for the full-time workers, for the part-time workers. We don't have a clue what's going on there. We only know that, hey, we got ACs coming to the trucks, and whenever UPS decides to start doing it, we got the 22.4 language taken out of the contract, which great. That's a great thing. We have a lot of articles that need to be fixed. Article 40, Article 40 is one of the major articles that it was bad, but I haven't heard him say anything about, Article 40. Article 40 is the air drivers article that the company always fucking violates, and they don't give a fuck. And that language needs to be stronger with more teeth. As far as the regular drivers have the first priority for the AM work. So 0300 with seniority has the priority to take AM airs before an air driver. The company is skipping the regular driver and giving it to an air driver for less money. So and we're grieving it, and they still walking all over that fucking language. And I haven't heard anything about that language. Is that one of those major big languages that are fucked up in this contract, which is Article 40?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the question I have for you, because I don't really remember. So when Sean and Fred were first running and they won, their main issues that they talked about was getting rid of the 22.4s, getting better language, obviously, getting more money for the part-timers. So I don't remember them talk. I'm not saying they're not going to, but I don't remember them really talking about short post being, even though it is a major issue, I don't remember them talking about that being one of their key focuses in this contract.
Yes, there was 4 major issues that they said that they definitely will go on strike if we don't get the 4 things at once, not 2 things or 1 thing, all 4 things. And the 4 things was subcontracting, PVDs, 22.4s, and the part-times raise. Those are the 4 things that they first started with. But as we went along, it got into more stuff, short posts, Article 37, Article 22. Article 22 it got a TA on it, which is part-timers now. Guess this is great for part-timers. I've been a full-time, but I've been a BA now for 4.5 years, and I see what the part-timers go through. And
I used to be part-time.
Okay, so I know what they go through, and they work hard, and they don't got a lot of teeth in their language. But Article 20, which is the part-time now, you don't have to have an educational transfer to go to another state. You can go you can transfer to another state, and only the part-time and not full-timers, because forget about it. Part-time, full-time who will start going to Florida, going down to the sun, but part-time now have the
North
right.
Carolina for me.
Yeah. Well, you can't go. Part-time,
and you're in charge of the transfer list, so that sucks.
Yeah, but I'm in charge of the 804.
No, I know.
804. I'm not in charge of California or anything like that. So the part-timers now have the right, they can go they can transfer to another state. Excuse me, iPhone 13, can you mute yourself? They could transfer to another state without education. Before when some part-time came up to me and said, listen, I'm moving to Ohio, And I only could tell them that the only way you can transfer if you have education, if you're going to pursue education over there in Ohio, they can transfer you. But now they took that out of the language. So now you can transfer with no educational transfers. You can go right to another state, which is a good thing. That is great for the part-timers. Because sometimes their significant other gets a job in another state and they need to move with the, wife or husband. And that's great for them to do that.
But heck, let me ask you a question. If Sean delivers on the 4 major things that he initially promised, would you consider, if he gets better pay for the part-timers, he gets rid of the subcontracting, we already have an agreement to get rid of the 22/4s, and what was the last thing?
The part-timers money.
Right, the part-timers. So if we get them more money, would you consider this contract a success?
I will consider this contract one of the best contracts ever in the Teamsters union.
So even if we can't get rid of short post,
if we get all this stuff, we're gonna get short post. We have to get short post because it's in our contract stating that if FedEx gives up the rights of the short post, then UPS has got to come more and bring the short post back to us. Now, UPS is not going to do it that way. They're going to do it because they don't like to give everything all in one shot. They're going to do it by percentage. Now, if they give us 50% of the short post, is a home run for us anyway. 50% of the short posts that are going out to the post offices now. If they give us 50%, if Sean O'Brien, he stated that he's going to get 42 to 50% back to the members, is still a home run. 100% is a grand slam, but 42 to 50% of the show post to come back to the Teamsters is going to be great. It's going to be more jobs added. It's going to be more work for union workers, and that's what he wants.
Listen, I'm sorry to cut you off, but even if we get the 40 to 50% now, and then in another 5 years, we work on the rest of the percentage or whatever else we could work on. That's what a lot of us need to realize is that, we're kind of playing catch up from the past 20 years on a fair contract. Correct. So if Sean O'Brien is able to get us at least to the starting point where we need to be in 2023, by the time 2028 rolls around, we're going to have an even better contract and we're going to be able to fix all the things that fell through the cracks on this one.
Exactly.
We can't think like that. We got to fight for everything right now. Look what happened. Do we forget what happened in 2020? Some of our brothers and sisters getting sick off of COVID and still having the ramifications of that. No, we need to fight for fucking everything right now. You know what I mean? And if it's not 25 for part-timers and 55 for RPCD, that's a no vote, dude. Anything is higher than 1550. Even $20 is higher than 1550. But that's still poverty wages, especially in a place like California and New York, where the cost of living is so high. No, we need to fight for everything. We need everything now. If UPS doesn't do the right thing, they approved $5 billion on stock buyback, right? And another $3 million. Now they didn't use all the $8 million to buy this for the stock buyback, but they don't care. They'd rather pocket that money and give it to the shareholders than give it to us, the ones who are the true logistics of UPS, not this makeup Orion crap or whatever or PAL crap. We're the ones who do this job. We need to be fighting for everything right now.
Yeah, so that looks like a disagreement to Carl, because Carl, you're saying that if we get the 4 major things that they first wanted to that they put out there, if we get that, then everything else is okay. We could just ratify the contract.
No, I asked you if you would consider it a success. I consider it a success
that he put out first. And he got those things, but it's a lot more stuff that we need to make this company pay for whatever they have to pay for. Listen, if they didn't make $100 billion, not million, $1 billion in profit, that's profit. $100 billion in profit. What do you do? What will you do with $100 billion in profit? You
There's a lot
invest,
I could do with that.
you invest it to your employees, the ones that made you that money. You invest, even if it's a fucking $2 billion, $3 billion out of that 100 billion. You have money to give us what we want without even fucking giving us a fucking counter offer. This is what Sean O'Brien wants. This is what the members want. Here it is. We made enough money to do it. They made enough fucking money to even, I don't even know why they fighting for, you know, the wages and all this bullshit, giving the part-timers $25. Why are they fighting that when they,
because they want the
fucking
most
money?
They want the most amount of money and to give us shit. We're all
But
on
if
the
you
same
make
side here.
if you make the fucking members happy and they're good with their wages, your profits go even further up. So if they started with $100 billion in profit, next year it could be fucking $150 billion in profit. Because you know why? Because you got Teamsters that are happy that they're getting the wages they're supposed to get, they're getting their medical, they're getting their pensions put into it, they're getting everything happy. So your company succeeds better like that. But if you have upset, pissed off Teamsters and you get a fucking strike, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? You're going to fucking lose some investors. You're going to lose customers. You're going to lose some fucking, you know, packages. You're not thinking. And I like when Sean says, listen, you're going to strike your damn self. The company's going to strike them damn self, because they all have to do is agree to this fucking contract and let it be the best fucking contract that any Teamster ever had and move forward. We'll talk about whatever, anything next 5 years, but this contract should be taken serious, and we have the fucking balls and we have the backing of Sean O'Brien to go on strike. If we would have had Hoffa in the office, I guarantee you this shit would have been done, over, gone. And I just want to also say thank the North Cal now ratify their supplements, but they ratify their supplements on Facebook for a lot of things, but not what they were holding out for. So Jose, do you know anything about that?
I'm hearing that they accepted the sitting arbitrator.
They did accept it?
Well, that's what I've been told. Yes.
Because
Now,
they were holding out for not having a sitting arbitrator, and that was the hold up on the supplements on the North Cal. But now I see that they ratified the North Cal, but everything that they said on that pamphlet is nothing to do with a sitting arbitrator.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in there. So you're gonna have a lot of pissed off Teamsters up there in North Cal. Once they see that there's gonna be a sitting arbitrator,
they put out something. Let me see if I made a copy of it, and I can.
That's they issued that they ratified a tentative agreement, but they did not mention the sitting arbitrator.
That's what I put down, that they didn't mention the sitting arbitrator, which was kind of weird to me, because they were holding out because they didn't want a sitting arbitrator. Yeah. So I was kind of confused when they said that they ratify, and then when I read it, it didn't say anything about a sitting arbitrator. But you're saying now they do have a sitting arbitrator? So did they take a deal to have a sitting arbitrator to get the other stuff that they, like a little bit of horse trading there? No comment. But anyway,
Hank, let me ask you a question. Something else that Jose said before about the us going through the pandemic. Didn't we get some type of protections? Either I don't remember if it was locally or national. I'm pretty sure it's nationally. In the event another pandemic does happen.
Yes, but that's the past. What about? I mean, that's the present. That's going to be in the future. What about the past? What about the pandemic that just passed? Why can't we get a hazardous pay? A retro hazardous pay, because a lot of companies got hazardous pay. Why the guys that we were out there 15 hours a day delivering to the customers that were in the house because they couldn't go out on pandemic, we were out there. Why can the Teamsters get a retroactive hazardous pay for all we did during the pandemics? The reason I say that because I keep coming up with the $100 billion profit. That's profit. So if you go to a casino and you put in $20 in a fucking machine and you come out with $15,000, that's $15,000 profit from that $20. This is what I'm saying. It's money that you can use to satisfy the membership, which is the $100 billion profit. If they use fucking $20 billion out of that to fucking pay back the members what we did for them to make that profit, everybody would be happy. But this fucking company is so fucking greedy, and it's crazy how they kiss ass to the investors because they don't want to lose that $100 billion profit because they don't want to give it to the members that make that money for them.
Hector, did 804 agree to a sitting arbitrator? Or did you guys have one existing?
We already had one since back in the days. Tim Sylvester, there was always a sitting arbitrator. I think it works out great for the membership here as a sitting arbitrator. I know they were saying in North Cal that it wasn't good for them to have a sitting arbitrator. I mean, they had the guys from I forgot that talk show. You know what, Jose? You know what the talk show was?
The Teamster Talk. That's
right,
the name
the
of
Teamsters talk show. They explained why they didn't want a sitting arbitrator. I can't believe that after the explanation that he had was fucking excellent, and they still took the sitting arbitrator, which is kind of a blow to, I guess, the membership. And I don't understand how the membership is accepting that. If they don't.
My understanding in the Southwest, we agreed to one as well. So North Cal agreed to one, SoCal agreed to one. I'm just curious. They were so adamant about not having a sitting arbitrator.
Yes.
They agreed to it. So that just leads me to believe, why did they agree to it? Was there pressure from UPS? Was giving them pressure for sure, but was there pressure from our own?
No, I don't think they got pressured from the IBT. I think they got a lot of stuff. I mean, they wrote out, I don't know, I don't have it in, I should have freaking screenshot it, but they had a lot of stuff that they did get. And then the question is, did they get all that because they agree not to have a sitting arbitrator? I don't know, because the whole thing was, the holdup was for a whole sitting arbitrator. So how do you go from ratifying a contract, ratifying your supplement, and nothing that you were holding back for was in that agreement? So, to me, it looks like it was like, yo, you give me this, I give you that, you give me this, you give me that. You know what I'm saying? It just is that's not cool, because the members was fighting and they were holding back on this contract for a non-sitting arbitrator, and they had good points. It's from Teamster Talk. He had good points of why they didn't want a sitting arbitrator. And it just, I don't understand how they went with it and got the tentative agreement, and then they didn't get the non-sitting arbitrator. But whatever, I guess that's for another show when they pull it out there, because I really want to know what the hell happened there. Was it a deal made that you give us this, we take away that? Whatever. Anyway, local 89 also ratified their supplements. They are now going to get paid for time, travel time from the parking lot to their destination of the airport. That was an ongoing thing for many, many years, that the members wasn't getting paid from the parking lot. Was far away, was maybe a half an hour away, or 25 minutes away, or whatever the case may be. They used to get on a bus, and then the bus used to drive them to the Worldport, and then they used to get paid for that time in the world, travel time. And they finally settled that. That's what they were holding on the supplement for, and they got the travel time. So now as soon as they park their cars and they get into that bus to go to the Worldport, they get paid from that point on. I don't know what deal they made, but that's what there was two supplements that were being held back, which was North Cal and Local 89, and they both ratified over the weekend that they're now all supplements are ratified, and now all we have to do is wait for this contract to be ratified. Go ahead, Jose. What's up?
And then the Southern Supplement, a lot of the members down there, they're not happy with that Southern Supplement. So that supplement might get rejected because there's a lot of pissed off people in the South saying this is not a win for us.
What
So
are they pissed off about?
You gotta talk to them. I still haven't read the supplement. I know some of the highlights were released, and some of them just didn't like. I guess one was that they could be now, I think, terminated for attendance, I believe. I wish somebody from the South was here so they could they would know a little bit more than probably me. But I think
what do you mean terminated for attendance?
Yeah, I guess they didn't have it before. Now they do, and unfortunately, I'm driving, so I can't go on and kind of search that the highlights of the Southern Supplement. But some in the South, they don't like what that contract. So that's going to be interesting too. And I'm eager to see my own supplements, the Western Region Supplement, the Southwest Sort Rider, the Southwest Package Rider. I'm very curious.
Yeah. Well, that was us. Who's this? Is that Atkinson? Who's that on? That's not on mute. Dan. Okay, I just muted him for a second. So yeah, so I listen. When I was listening, when those two supplements wasn't ratified, I questioned it, and I questioned the fact that a sitting arbitrator, it's good for Local 804. I don't know for other locals. And then I didn't know why wouldn't they, ratify the contract because of a sitting arbitrator. And then when I heard how they explained it, I understood now that, they don't want, and it works for them not to have a sitting arbitrator. And they were hard on that. They were holding that not to be ratified and holding that supplement because they didn't want the company wanted a sitting arbitrator. The union didn't want a sitting arbitrator. And then to hear over the weekend that they ratify and it's nothing about a sitting arbitrator in there. So now you're telling me that they did accept the sitting arbitrator and they accepted some other. I wish I had everything that they had on that. I wanted to make a screenshot and I totally fucking forgot. And it's my bad. I wanted to read out everything that they got besides the sitting arbitrator. And I wrote down in one of the comments why we're happy to the sitting arbitrator, but no one responded to that. So that it is what it is. So anyway, we are talking about the wages of the full-timers. We're talking about the part-time wages. Nothing has been said through the IBT, through the app, through the press conference. Nothing of what we offer to the company or what we are looking for.
Heck,
Yeah.
did you guys get any updates from Washington today? Because I know they're still there.
No, they're still negotiating and then trying it because Sean O'Brien gave them a deadline of July 5th. They're supposed to have the final offer by July 5th. If they don't have the final offer by July 5th, the reason why Sean is doing that is because he don't want to wait for the final offer on July 31st. He wants to send it out to the members now so we can already know that we don't want that shitty, the whatever's shitty left that's on the contract. And we want everything that we asked for. We want everything. We want it now. And we want to, if not, then on July 31st, August 1st, he's going to pull every building throughout the United States. And we're definitely going to go on strike to show this company that we mean business. So what he's doing is pretty good. My phone lines, if anybody wants to call in, is 347-403-0705. if you want any questions or any conclusions of what's going on, or did you hear something that we didn't hear? Because I heard the 15 minutes of the press conference, and it was like, well, okay. I didn't get any information. And members need information. What's up, Dan?
Hey, Hector, how are you?
What's going on, brother?
Not much. I almost missed your thing. I told you I was going to stop by, but I'm on vacation. Well, just a weekend trip with my son down in Nashville, Tennessee, to see the Monster Jam World Finals, the Super Bowl monster trucks, and I forgot it's a 1 hour time change, so it's 5:45 right now, but it's actually 6:45 where you are. So I all of a sudden realized I almost missed it. I'm in an Uber, that's why I'm bouncing around.
Okay, cool. Damn, you're bouncing. He's got hitting a lot of bumps over there. So we've been talking about the contract and what the company offered to us, $2.85. I think it was a slap in our face, and for a lot of things that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind? I have Will Pena. He's gonna read the North Cal press release when they agreed to the new their new tentative agreement.
Yeah, good. Yes, I would like to hear that.
Hey, what's up? This is Will. Okay, so here we go. This past week, the NorCal committee and UPS met in Washington, D.C. to continue negotiations for a new contract going forward. The Teamsters NorCal committee is pleased to announce that we have reached a tentative agreement with UPS on the NorCal supplemental and the sort rider. Among many improvements, the NorCal committee was able to win improvements to both the work week and shift differentials, improvements on holiday language, increase the feeder bench minimums, eliminating the wait period for any laid off RPCD displaced into the warehouse, and language that prohibits from changing a full-timer's time card from code 6 to code 5. Furthermore, the NorCal committee was able to put new language in the supplement that prohibits UPS from using sick days outside your normal scheduled work week. New language requiring UPS to honor seniority in daily route assignments, and language that requires UPS to provide all members with bag ice if the ice machines are not in working order. Most importantly of all, the NorCal committee stood strong against all of UPS's concessionary proposals. The members in NorCal have sacrificed and worked tirelessly throughout the pandemic as essential workers, and the NorCal committee stood committed to negotiating the best contract for their members. That's all it says right there.
Wow, and it doesn't say anything about a sitting arbitrator.
No.
Wow, that is crazy. And I don't know, extending your bench for the feeder drive. What are they going to put 2 more guys on the bench, or eliminating the bench? What is it? How does that work over there in North Cal?
I don't know. I wish I was in NorCal. I'm right here in the Southwest.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
In California.
I thought you guys were in the North Cal.
No. California's a big state. California's a big state. But
Wow.
no, we're right here in the Southwest.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, we don't know. We can't speculate what went down on that supplement agreement and tentative agreement. All I could say that, hey, you fucking told us, you wasn't going to sign any tentative agreement unless they get rid of the sitting arbitrator. And that was the whole up, that you didn't want the sitting arbitrator, and all of a sudden now,
Fine. This one's right here. Just pull over.
now the company has a sitting arbitrator for them. I don't think it's nothing bad with a sitting arbitrator. I mean, Local 804, we have a sitting arbitrator for our cases, and it works out. But the way, like I said, the way they explained it and the way they went through it with the Teamster Talk guys, that you got to listen to episode 5, which was a great episode of explaining why they don't want a sitting arbitrator. That I understood then, but for them to take a sitting arbitrator now over whatever you just read, I mean, it's nothing major that they took and accepted the facts. I mean, code 5, code 6. I mean, come on, really? That's just bullshit right there. Anyway, they also ratified that no one, well, here in Local 84, we have a language in our supplements that is no 4-6 day. We don't have that, but of course our members do it anyway. They come in on a scheduled day off to work, and I have a little problem with that. I don't have a problem with people making money, but I have a problem when we have displacements and we need that work. That's go ahead, Lonnie. What you got to say? Lonnie has his hands raised up, but he can't. I don't hear him. Unmute yourself. Lonnie Rice.
There you go. All right. Hey, Hector, how you doing today, buddy? Listen, you and I have been fighting that 6-day punch with these guys for years. It's a matter of greed more than anything else. We've been telling them over and over again, the favor you do for them on Saturday, they fuck you on Monday. So we're never going to win this battle. We're never going to win this battle. My other opinion is, I really believe the PVDs we're going to be stuck with them. It kind of worked out for the company during peak, and I think they're going to try to push that on us. And I think, and I'm just saying, this is my opinion, I really believe that the PVDs are going to stay. Everything else we might get. I'm looking, I say we should have been at $45 an hour from the past contract. We should have been at $55 an hour on this contract, but we're not negotiating. I'm not sitting at the table yelling and screaming, we want $10 more.
We don't know what Sean O'Brien and the IBT is putting out there from us to the company, so we don't know what the wages are right now. I mean, I'm only speculating. I'm saying $6 an hour because it makes sense to $6 because the other contracts were like $4.45 or $4.50 or $5. So I said $6. I think they agreed on, and they're not even agreeing on that. They sent a proposal, a bond to $2.85. Which is a slap on everybody's face that we're not worth shit to them. Just $2.85, and that's between the 5 years. So we don't know the money situation from the IBT. I think they should bring it up in the next the next podcast or whatever, the next Facebook or press that they have, and let the members know what we want as a Teamsters and what their counter is, so we could tell them go fuck themselves. And if we want exactly what we asked for, we're not taking less than what we asked for, but we don't know what we asked for. We need to know what we asked for. I think if anyone's listening from the IBT or the app, should put it out there that what is the IBT asking for the members for that raise, and that $25 for the part-timers, and what they're offering the part-timers. Well, Jose said they're offering $17.
Right. So if they're offering them $17, you really think the full-timers are going to accept a $3 or $4 raise? There's no way we're going to accept that. And I've been talking to guys all about this a lot, and it's not that they feel like they don't deserve the money, but if they're going to give a certain group X amount of money, then we should be entitled to that money also. The other thing that bothers me is these 5-year contracts. We should be on a 3-year contract like these city agencies are. And you know why? Because it keeps the company on their freaking toes. Every 3 years, they got to figure out a way to either do better or worse. And that is what I fucking want, a 3-year contract. 5-year contract gives 5 years to fucking bullshit around and drag this thing out. 3 years, on that the 2.5 year mark, boom, we're on top of them. Hey, this is what we're looking for. And if you don't do this, this is what we're going to do.
Exactly.
That's just my, I mean, listen, I know a lot of guys agree and some guys disagree with it. Oh, you can't, you got to give the company bullshit. You got to give them nothing. Like you said, like you always say, Hector, the favor you do for them today, tomorrow they're gonna fucking try to fire you. So,
did we ever operate off of a 3-year contract?
What was that?
What happened?
Did we ever operate off of a 3-year contract?
Never.
Yes.
We did? Oh, we did way back.
Yeah,
way back, right.
97 was the first time we agreed to a 5-year.
If we agree
That's
to
what fucked us.
If we agree to a 5-year contract, it better have what they call a reopener with the right to strike, or right to strike with the reopener.
Yep.
And you tie several issues: economics, harassment, safety, technology. And then we could go back into negotiating and say, no. You see those record profits you made, especially like in 2020? No, we want a piece of that pie. And I want this contract to have some sort of contractual language when it comes to a pandemic like we just experienced. You know, we need to have language in there that protects us. We shouldn't be dying over delivering packages. We're just doing our effing jobs, and some of us didn't even get out, you know?
Well,
Like Mother
we shouldn't
Jones
even be
said.
getting sick over delivering packages either. I mean,
Thank
that's the
you.
bottom line. We shouldn't even have to worry about it. We should be able to go to work every day. And they that stupid expression, expect the unexpected. It's bullshit. I don't expect to die or get sick when I go to work. I expect to go to work, do my time there, and come home. That's what I expect. All right. Everything else is circumstantial. Yeah, I get it. I can get into an accident on the way home. I could drop dead of a heart attack, but I don't expect to get sick because somebody else is spreading a disease around the country because, you know, oh, we're essential workers and we were bound by contract to show up and not get any credit for it. Everybody was all on our side when this was going on. And now that this is over, now everybody turns their backs on us. So
You brought up a good point, Lonnie, about the 3-year, 5-year. I mean, why didn't we go for a 3-year contract, Jose? What do you think? Why wasn't that proposed and instead of 5 years, 3 years? Well, Jose's probably.
I think it was probably just to have a stable contract in place for those times. But I mean, those 5-year contracts only benefit UPS. In 2020, when we went back and we're telling, man, you know what? You guys need to pay us a little bit more if we're going to be working through the pandemic. What did UPS say? Well, we're working on an existing contract. That's the BS that they have. They'll use it when it benefits them. So this 5-year contract, if it doesn't have a reopener with the right to strike, and if it's not a 3-year contract, we're just limiting ourselves.
I always said that the first thing you do is throw a 3-year contract in their face. Like I said, at 2.5-year mark, you put on the table, here's what we're looking for. Start working on it. And that way we always have that option. We could always, if there's no threat behind it, then there's nothing, then we have nothing. Then we have
Right,
nothing.
So the show is coming to an end, but I want to ask everybody that's on the Zoom right now. Do you guys good with a strike? Raise your hand or say yes. You want to strike?
100%.
100%. 100%.
Yes.
I've been telling this.
100%.
I've been telling this to everybody when I met Sean O'Brien in Chicago that time. I said, guys, this guy's not fucking around. This guy means it. If he says strike, we're striking. And I keep telling everybody this for the last 2 years. Be prepared, guys. Be prepared.
But Carl came up with a comment of if he gets all 4 things that he first came out, do we still not go on strike or go on strike for the other stuff? What you call
the other stuff?
You think that if he gets all 4 that he originally wanted, which was the PVDs, the short posts, the wages, higher wages, the contract and the part-time wages, if he gets all that, you don't think we should still go on strike for the other stuff?
We have to. It has to be one big package, Hector. It can't be piece by piece by piece. We're not building a puzzle here. It's got to be a complete package. Bottom line. If we allow them, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I asked Carl that question because
he wants me to stand out on my own here, Lonnie. No, I don't think so. I think this contract is a big deal. I think, like I said before, we're playing catch up this year for the past 20 years. So I'll say it's a successful first contract if he can get the 4 issues that he promised, but I'm not happy with just that. I think that we deserve more. This company has shown that they can give us more, and there's a reason why I'm not on the National Negotiating Committee and Sean O'Brien is.
Either. Don't feel bad. I'm not on it either.
Yeah, I wish Hector was on that committee.
Yeah, I wish a lot of people were on that committee that should have been
We
there.
would have been on strike.
There's a lot of things that we got to talk about, but I won't bring it up today because we're running out of time. And it's I only do an hour show. I wish I could go more. I want to thank Jose for commenting and talking about this North Cal and this local 89. The supplements are now ratified. Like I said, we got good stuff. Whoever in the Southern, I don't know where they were forcing people to 6-day punch. Now they cannot force those people to come in on a 6-day punch. Here in Local 804, we don't have that in our language. They can't force 6-day punch. But you know what? We are on our worst enemies. We come in on 6-day anyway to take away work from others. And then what happens? It's dead on Mondays, it's dead on Tuesdays, and then we get what we get. We get layoffs. Victor, go ahead. You got your hands raised up.
Are we really gonna have enough time to process this contract? I'm looking at the timeline. If they're saying the 5th, and then they have to negotiate with it, we're probably not gonna get this to what I'm, looking at it like in the good point out, maybe 2 weeks out of the deadline.
Mhm.
Are we really be able to see everything that's gonna go on? What the small effects are gonna be? For example, with the COLA raises for someone like me, that's PVD. No, that's not a PVD. That's a 22.4, and I'm still under progression. I never got the COLA, and they decided on that when the progression was only 2 years, but it's still sitting there now that we're even at 4 years. So that those small little things, are we really be able to understand this?
Well, what it is that Sean told them that he wants the best and final offer by July 5th, which is coming up real soon, this week, Wednesday. What he's doing is he wants to get the company to do the best and final offer because he wants to get this contract to the members for a vote, because we, the members, have to do the vote, yes or no to the contract. If when you receive from your local what it's in this contract that they want you to vote yes or vote no to the contract, they're going to tell you what it is. And if you don't see something that you like and you feel that, hey, this is not the contract that I'm, was waiting for, you have the right to vote yes, or you have the right to vote no. But that's what Sean is doing. He's not going to wait till July 31st, which is the deadline. Normally, the company waits to the 31st to give the best and final offer, because they know it takes 2 weeks, like you said, or 3 weeks to get all the votes in from the membership. So that's why Sean is doing it. Give us your best and final offer on July 5th. We're going to send it out to the membership. They're going to vote. And will be, if that fucking contract is not good for the membership, it is not good for the IBT, will be on strike midnight on July 31st, August 1st, actually. So he's doing it to put pressure on this company, which is a good thing, because Hoffa wouldn't have gave him the pressure. They would have just fucking whatever. We'll extend the contract, because that's what Hoffa did. He extended the contract.
You brought up Hoffa again. How many givebacks you think we would have given back already if we had Hoffa? Because as far as I know, we got no givebacks.
Yeah, too many.
So Victor, that's why he's going for the best and final offer for July 5th, which I think is a great thing.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, I really want to be able to see it. And if we didn't have that, our economic plan that we still haven't seen, I think I would feel better about the situation. But since we don't have that,
I want to congratulate you. Now you're going to be a regular driver now, because
it's a plus for all the drivers. But at the same time, like, I want to see the money, because as of right now, with the company throughout, they want to cut those wages by $10.
Well, as soon as the contract is ratified, you go into the bracket of a 0300 driver. So if you're at $22 now, at whatever year you're in. I don't know how many years you have in, Victor.
I got 3. So almost to my 4th.
So you'll be,
so you put me about 28 if I was
you'll be at 28.75.
Yeah.
Until the following year when you make top pay. So and plus you're gonna have your rights to be on the 9.5 list. You're gonna have your rights to have a request 8-hour low. So you're going to have all the rights of 0300s, which I'm happy for you guys, because it wasn't fair. That language, I hated the 22.4 language. I hated the fact that a guy that is working by side me is 22.4, making $6 less than me, and didn't have the same rights that I had. So I'm happy for you guys that you guys got what you deserve. And
don't want to get
a lot of hands up. So the next hands up is Dan. Go ahead, Dan.
So I was just going to say that I think that the part-timers are going to start revolting if they don't start hearing some things, because everything seems to be coming out about the full-timers, and the all I'm seeing in my chat groups are people complaining that the part-timers are getting shafted again. So hopefully they get their due, because we keep comparing this to 97 when it was about the part-timers, and yet we've heard nothing about the part-timers. So, and even the forced six punch, a lot of people are chatting about the fact that it only says drivers, that it doesn't really clarify that all employees. So like some of the inside people are worried about being forced to work a 6-day because the language that they've seen is all says drivers.
Right.
I know in New England, I'm pretty happy with our supplement. We got some really good deals. As a feeder driver, starting day one, I potentially am going to be getting an extra $4 an hour as a feeder driver, because they bumped up night differential from 15 cents to $2 an hour. And they bumped up pulling a set of trailers. We used to only get a quarter an hour. So for a whole 8-hour shift, we got an extra $2 for pulling 2 trailers at the same time.
That's
and
good.
they bumped that up to $2 as well. So we'll be getting potentially working nights and pulling doubles an extra $4 starting day one without even the pay raises.
That's great.
I think you know my story with the company last year. I was terminated for 11 months and went through 2 different arbitrations and won my job back. And and this is a real gritty thing. It's not a money thing, but 2 of the biggest things I feel in the New England supplement was when they fired me, they added the word dishonesty to the language, and then they withheld reports that cleared me of any wrongdoing until the NLRB ordered them to turn them over. And in the new contract, New England supplement, we have a definition of what is considered dishonesty, or at least what can be walked out the door termination versus a working termination. And they're straightforward things. Get caught with a weapon, get caught with drugs, if you're high at work. I mean, they're obviously violence. But other than that, like the things that they accuse me of, falsification of records, dishonesty, none of it falls under the new category. So it would have prevented me being out of work for 11 months. I would have worked through the whole process until I went to arbitration. And the second thing that language that was awesome was prior to this discipline, I had been disciplined in 17 years, and because they didn't have any discipline to argue to make me look bad, they brought in every supervisor I ever worked for the last 23 years and introduced all the discipline going back 17 years to my day one, 23 years ago. And so the new language says that they can only go back 1 year on discipline at panel, and they can only bring up relevant discipline. So if you were violating, you had your door open or your seatbelt off, they can't bring that up if it's a stealing time issue. Like it has to be relevant. So those 2 things alone made the New England supplement for me a home run.
All that was changed because of your case?
Not because of my case. In New England, they were abusing dishonesty. They were just attaching it to every termination and walking everybody off property. And, my case is probably one of the more egregious ones because I was out of work for 11 months fighting my case. They offered me my job back a couple of times if I would take a time served suspension. I told them to shove it where the sun don't shine because I didn't do anything wrong. They made shit up to try to get rid of me. And then they withheld the reports. And even when the NLRB made them turn over the reports, they kept me out of work for another 3-4 months before we went to panel. And Steve South out of Local 25 in Boston sat on both of my panels, and he absolutely destroyed the company on both of my cases. Okay. And but this language, it was being abused everywhere. Mine's probably one of the more egregious cases, but to me, I got emotional when I heard those 2 language changes because that would have prevented everything I went through. I mean, I was out 11 months. I almost went bankrupt. I was on the verge of losing my place and my car and everything else. And it was horrible. I did nothing wrong. And so those 2 things alone were home runs for me, above and beyond everything else. So that's some stuff we really need to be looking forward to in this contract. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the AC language, and not because I don't think we deserve AC. I do, but I don't like the fact that it's open-ended. You know what I mean? Like, when we got power steering put in the contract, it took 15 years to get rid of those trucks.
Yep.
And so to me, I'm glad we got it, but that's something that's good 15 years from now. It doesn't do it right now because how many members are going to have heat injuries and heat fatalities over the next 15 years while we're waiting for them?
Well,
And not to
the
mention the fact,
last contract they put in that we get fans, that we
Right.
have to ask for fans, and then the mechanics will put the fans. Where'd
Mm-hmm.
that go? Because members were asking for fans in their truck and they wasn't getting any fans. So imagine
Right.
what's gonna happen with fucking ACs that cost twice as much of a fan.
and just this is my opinion, but I also feel like the way it's written is also kind of a union busting tool, because when 2 or 3 air conditioned trucks roll into a building, there's going to be a divide on who's getting it. People are going to fight for it. And let's say they say, oh, you know what, the newest truck's got to go on the more distance routes, and there's some junior guy on it. Well, next bid, he's off that route because somebody's going to bump him to get the AC truck. So
Exactly.
I feel like an honest thing would be is if they would agree to either retrofit or replace all vehicles within this 5-year period.
Right.
That at least would give us an end date when we'll have all air conditioned vehicles. So I'm pretty disappointed with that language.
Yeah. Well, I don't care for it. I really don't. I mean, people, say it's going to be a lot of work for the shop stewards and business agents when those ACs do come into play, because you're going to have guys, taking extended lunches, being in that cool truck, or it's gonna be something that the company is gonna look for. Oh, you want ACs? I give you ACs. Anyway, Jose, you have a question? You have your hand up?
Well, I was gonna just say 2 things. When it comes to the 22-4s becoming RPCDs, I know there's part-timers that refuse to go into the 22-4 because they're waiting for a RPCD position. Now, if you're gonna convert all those 22-4s into RPCDs, once again, if this might sound controversial, part-timers are gonna get screwed. And then another thing I want to touch on. We better not have in-person voting like we did in the strike authorization vote, because you need to give us time to read it, to analyze it, to dissect it, and to talk to if we have families, to talk to our loved ones about it, and then O'Brien, Zuckerman, and all
You're breaking up, Jose.
Negotiating committee. Yeah, because I'm going in the mountains. Sorry, but we the rank and file are going to determine if this contract is a win or if it's or we're hitting the streets. There's a lot of us that want to hit the streets because we're sick and tired of being disrespected by this corporation.
Exactly. And I totally agree with what you said, that we should have time to not put our yes to this contract until we all know that this is the best contract, the best and final contract that the IBT and the committee that's been there negotiating this contract for us for the 340 members. Hold on a second. I think I have another call. I have a call. Hold on a second. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hector,
Yes.
this is Ricky out of San Antonio, Texas, 657. I have a couple questions if you've got some time.
Go ahead. We're running over time, but go ahead. We got you. What's up?
All right, so down here in the Southern Supplemental, we got some language that's not nearly as strong as your guys is up there. We've got this thing under Article 48. I don't know if it's being proposed or if it's currently happening right now, where it says on here, sorry, I want to give you exact verbiage. Article 48, section, sorry, but I should have been more. Okay. Article 48, section 2, it says employees who fail to report and does not notify the employer for 3 consecutive work days will lose seniority. Does that to you, does that mean termination?
That is crazy. Wait,
Yeah,
That's language for no call, no show.
Is that call for no call, no show?
Yeah, if you don't show
That's
up or call out for 3 consecutive days, that's terminationable. That's not if you're out sick or anything. That's
So
if they
here-
don't know where you are.
So we don't have that in Local 804. Local 804 is a 5-day letter. They send a 5-day letter to the member if you don't call at all, and the 5-day letter gets to the member and the business agent, and we make the phone call to call the member and say, hey, If you don't call them and tell them what's the reason why you're out, the next step is a termination letter, a 5-day letter. So they only give you guys 3 days to respond.
Assuming, yeah,
In New England, it's the same
72-hour
thing.
notice down here.
I'm sorry. Y'all talked at the same time. Go ahead, Rick. What'd you say, Rick?
Yeah, my apologies. It's called a 72-hour notice down here. I mean, and that's there's a bunch of hypotheticals. We can talk that till all the animals come home. But what happens if they don't have the right address? Anything of that nature? I mean, it just seems.
Yeah, that's why in Local 804 they do a 5-day letter, which is if you don't respond to that 5-day letter, and the way you respond to that 5-day, they give the member a letter to his house, express mail, and they send one to the hall for the business agent, whoever's taking care of that member, to call that member and ask them to call the manager to set up that why you were out. But 3 days and not calling, they give you a discharge right away. That's what you're saying?
Yep.
I would assume so. If that's what they mean by they say we'll lose seniority. It doesn't even mention anything about discharge. It just says we'll lose seniority. I mean, very, very loose language here.
Dan, you know about that language?
So in New England, it's similar language. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but yeah, I mean, it isn't like an instantaneous termination, but if you have 3 consecutive no call, no show days, you get that letter of notice of termination. And then you I don't know, I've never had one, so I don't know but I'm assuming you have, a week to respond to it. And I'm sure the hall would be looking into it as well, but it's 3-day no call, no show up here too.
Wow.
Are you where are you out of? Are you
Local 404 in Springfield, Mass, the New England supplement?
Oh, nice. Another thing it says on here too, Hector, right underneath it. We look at down here, we look up to you guys up there quite a bit. I mean, the language up there is it's so insanely strong as it is to down here. There's another thing that says change 7 days for layoff to 10 working days. Is that what language does that consist of?
What do you mean by 7 to 10 working days?
That's all it says here. Article 48, Section 2. Beef. Yeah, it's got all this. Yeah, I just a lot of this doesn't make sense to me at all. I'd love to send this to you eventually. All these changes that they're making down here.
Would that be notification of layoffs?
I'm assuming all it says is changes 7 days for layoff to 10 working days.
Yeah, probably 2-week notice if they're going to conduct layoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. That's all I needed. I appreciate y'all gentlemen for your time.
No
You
problem.
definitely clarify what
Thanks for calling. Thanks for calling in to the What the Heck Show.
Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye.
So yeah, we're running out of time. I'm sure we have a lot more to discuss. Dan, I love your story.
Oh, come on, let's make it a 2-hour show. Let's go.
Dan, I love your story. I would like to have a show with your story. I mean, people need to know what you went through in that 11-month gap and how you got back. Oh boy, Carl wants to ask a question. Go ahead, Carl.
I just wanted to say that this show is so much better with guests instead of just listening to you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. But you know what? I've been doing this for a long time, Carl. I'm sorry. You're new to the game, and this is the way it is.
I don't know, Hector. I just want to say that on your Facebook page, it says show every other Sunday with Tony Rosario. It doesn't say anything about you. So I don't know where you're saying you've been doing this a long time. It looks like Tony's show on Facebook.
Yeah, no, Tony, I brung Tony in. I started this a long time ago with Dave Citron when we did Local 804 radio. And then I just went on my own and did Union Power Radio. And I've been doing it on my own for a long time, almost 9
That's when the show took a dive.
Yeah, when I brung you guys in, when I brung Rosario, Jamie, Holligan, and you substituted for them. And that became a problem because everybody was like, why do you need those guys? I mean, you fucking just say what you gotta say, and you try to fight with me, and I tell you to go fuck off, and I cut you off. I mean, people like that, I guess. If you want to get on, if I could cut you off and tell you to go fuck yourself, hey, come on, you're more than happy. Like I told you,
Pat, defend me.
Listen to me. Paul.
Shut up. Pat's got
listen to me. You shut the
fuck up.
I was going to say. Pat's got something to say.
Hector, you better
He
off.
has
The
nothing to
lone
say.
wolf
I can mute
Hector.
him at any time.
Better off. Hector.
Yeah. What's up, Pat? What you say?
I said the lone wolf Hector is better off.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's better off, you see?
currently it's the bald man show, considering the only 4 cameras on
Holy
are
shit,
4
you're
bald
right.
guys.
There's only 4 bald guys.
You look like 4 tits.
That is funny.
That
so
is funny. But yeah, Carl, you're a dickhead. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for listening to the What the Heck show here on Union Power Radio. Like I said, we speak freely. We don't have no scripts. We don't record. This is a live show. It's always every other Sunday. I've been backed up for a little bit because of the fact that I went on
easy
vacation.
with that, all right? I have a recorded show, all right?
Oh yeah, that's right. You have a recorded show. I'm sorry.
So, all right.
so promote your show, Dan.
So I about 3 months ago started a podcast of my own after everything I went through, because I felt like I had a lot of knowledge to share with the members. And so my show is called The Biweekly Grievance. It's on YouTube. I have an email address, the biweekly grievance at gmail.com. I record my show. It's easier for me to do that way. I'm a single dad and working nights, so it's easier for me to record it and edit it. I can record a few shows and release them when I get a chance to edit them. So it's not as smooth as the Union Power Radio live unfiltered, but I think I have a pretty good product. My last show, I covered the Teamster Drive, Democrat, Republican, Independent voter education, which is our political action committee for the Teamsters. And I had Alana, who is the your union sister on TikTok. She was my guest. She came on to tell us about political action committees and what they can do for unions. Like, for example, like this AC stuff we've been talking about. Well, if we could get Congress to pass a law saying all delivery trucks must have air conditioning and heat, then we wouldn't have to negotiate for air conditioning. It would be in the contract, and it'd be less we'd have to put on our plate. And because like somebody said, Hoffa, 25 years of concessionary contracts, we're not gonna be able to fix everything in one contract. But if we were able to pass laws on stuff, it would be less we'd have to fight for. So the Biweekly Grievance Show on YouTube. And Hector, reach out to me anytime, brother. We can do a show about what happened to me. I absolutely do that for you.
I would love to hear that story. I mean, I think it's very interesting.
And Hector needs more guests.
No, I don't need more guests. I'm good. I'm good the way I am. This is the What the Heck show. It's called the What the Heck for a reason, because it's
I listened to this show way before anybody else was on it.
Yes.
So
and I asked you to be a co-host.
And I'm breaking your balls.
I know you are, and I don't give a fuck. Like I said,
You could always change the name to I don't give a fuck what you think show.
Exactly. You know what?
No.
Oh, my new t-shirt. My new t-shirt says "What the blank show."
That was about
What the fuck show?
But I thought it was going to be called the What the Blank show.
Yeah, the What the Fuck show. Exactly. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for listening to the What the Heck show here on Union Power Radio, July 2nd. I want to thank Dan for sharing part of his story. I'm sure he has more to it, and I'm very interested in listening to what he has to say about that. And you know what? The reason why I want to listen, because we can learn from what he went through that we won't ever go through. So, like I said, the contract is to be best and final offer by July 5th. Sean O'Brien is wants that done by the company. I know they are at contract negotiations right now as we speak. Is 7:28 Eastern time. They are there still negotiating with this company because Sean doesn't want anything going past July 5th. So I want to thank everyone for listening. I want to thank Pat. I want to thank Carl. I never thank Carl, but thank Carl for coming in. Bonnie, Eric, Victor, Jose from the West Coast, Lonnie Rice-Rudo, and Matt for getting into the Zoom, and thanking everyone for listening and looking at the YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. When we go live, it tells you when we're live, the Mixler. And I'm going to try to put this on podcast. I had a new computer, so now I have ability to put it on podcast. But I want to thank everyone for listening, and have a great weekend, and be safe out there on 4th of July.
Solidarity, brothers.
Peace.
Later, guys. Enjoy.